Hey, welcome everyone. NBA Finals Game 2. We got Cardell Dudley Jr. here. I'm Wilson Tarpek. Jr. The Oklahoma City Thunder, even the series. They beat the Pacers tonight 123-107. Um, Going into this series, we talk about the depth on both sides of the both sides that each respective team has in the series, and we saw OKC's on full display in this one. Cardell, I know you've mentioned, I think on Twitter this past week, talked about the game that when Oklahoma City took care of the Wizards earlier this year, and how that was just kind of a preview of what was to come. Just that idea of the type of level they've been operating on, and we see them here in the finals, and we saw some of that because that night we saw some of that depth. Here it is, game 2 of the finals, and they keep their streak going where they have yet to lose back-to-back games in this playoff run. But your thoughts on them even in the series tonight?
They really came out after the Pacers kind of got off to a good start. They really they really clamped down on the Pacers, something serious, and you can tell they targeted Pascal Siakam. I think they feel like he's the key for their offense. If you kind of slow him down, you can really make things difficult for the Pacers to operate because Tyrese is more so trying to set the table and get his going late. Today, they really needed him to get going right away. Once Pascal Siakam, he started struggling. But regardless, the OKC wasn't going to let that happen, man. They knew what was at stake. They knew they couldn't afford to go to Indiana down 2-0. It would have been very, very tough to come back and have a legit shot at winning the series. But, the second quarter is where they won the game to me. Outscored them 33. The Thunder outscored the Pacers 33-21. And they was led by their bench. OKC bench outscored the Pacers bench 13-5. And let's be honest, Caruso, and Caruso and Wiggins, man. Wiggins had 8 in the quarter, and Caruso had 5. They were huge off the bench, and Shea had 9, and Jalen Williams had 9. It was just clean, but then their defense, they held the Pacers to 36, 25, 60 splits. You know what I mean? Turn them over 6 times. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Turn them over 6 times. It was just a clinic in that period, and then and they only allowed 1 second chance point from Indiana. Like they didn't give Indiana any breathing room whatsoever in that quarter to try to regain some life, to try to keep it competitive, try to get some life, to try to even take the lead 1.5. It's like, no, we're going to end this right away. Because in the second half, it was close. Like the Pacers outplayed on the third. I know they set the starters and, with like 3 minutes left, man. But, Pacers outscored them 33-30 and lost the third quarter 34-33. And the first quarter was 26-20. They literally lost the game in the second quarter because they were outscored 33-21. And they pushed their lead up to as big as 23 in that quarter, man. So it was just a clinic led by their defense. We all know they got the best defense in the league. That's why they were the best team in the league. I felt Chet woke up. I felt, Jalen Williams didn't shoot the ball particularly well. He got to the free throw line 8 or 9, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. Obviously, strong defense. Chet woke up 15.6 rebounds, 6 of 11. Shea was Shea. He was MVP for 30, 34, 8, and 5. It was a clinic, but Alex Caruso's 20 and Aaron Wiggins 18. That was huge off the bench. I mean, hell, they outscored. I mean, those two alone outscored every player on the Pacers individually. You just can't win like that. And I know Tyrese is used to setting the table and getting his going early. It could be different at home because obviously role players play different at home. So we're going to see how they play on the road, even though OKC travels. And they not really – you haven't really seen so many lapses when they hit the road. But I think Tyrese got to be more aggressive early. He can't wait for, all right, everybody's going. You just can't. You and some say Siakam is their best player, but I feel like Halliburton is because he's the point guard. He sets the table for everybody. He got to be more aggressive and get going right away, man. Like in that second quarter, when the game got away from him, He only took one shot. You can't do that. You got to sense the game slipping. You got to understand, all right, I got to get aggressive right now because no one else has it going. I got the ball in my hands. I'm capable. I got to get very aggressive. Easier said than done against OKC, but you got to at least try. One shot attempt. I mean, come on. That's way too passive. Way too passive. Like, he had 13 for the game. Shea had 21. I mean, you should be in the 20s. You're they good. It warrants it. You should be in the 20s in shot attempts, unless you're just very off, where it's just ridiculous. Like, you 2 for 20 or something crazy like that. It doesn't matter, man. You gotta get aggressive because, guys were struggling. Pascal Siakam, 3 for 11. Obi Toppin, who was huge in game 1 of 8. Like I said, they keyed in on those guys. They was like, they pretty much in the sense said, hey, Halliburton, you're gonna have to beat us, bro. Because we're gonna shut down all the other guys that they got us in game 1. You know what I mean? So if you take away Miles Turner and Nembhard's efficiency and Benedict Late, and TJ McConnell was big off the bench as well, but not many Pacers outside of those 4 were efficient at all, man. So they got some cleaning up to do.
Yeah, I think it's a great point with Tyrese. Every series is different. Every opponent is different. Get that you might be accustomed to wanting to set the table. Like you said, in that second quarter, you got to throw all that out the window. The game was done right there in that moment. And obviously, we know that's one of those things where some things come with experience, unfortunately, at different moments. But I hope he gets that for the rest of the series for the Pacers' sake, because I'm sure the OKC's fine with this. If you're going to wait, we will happily clamp everybody else up until you decide. And the worst thing is, it's one thing if, he doesn't know how to go about forcing the issue, but you've done it all playoffs in the second half or late in games where you start forcing the issue and it helps your team. You're not harming your team. But this series, it's the last series, the one before that, y'all can't wait around. You're going to get smoked if you wait around. It's just not going to happen. I thought another member of the Thunder that was used in this one, box score doesn't say it. The plus minus does, but overall numbers doesn't jump out. Hartenstein was big in this one for OKC. Thought they were really they got great. The stretches he was on the floor, I thought they got great production out of him. You talked about Chet coming alive tonight. Some of the times it was with Hartenstein with the big pass and opening things up. We also saw them respond on the glass as a group in this one. And how many times did we see when in the second half, the Pacers are trying to get something going, putting together maybe a couple baskets here or there, and then it's one of the world's longest possessions on the other end because OKC got 3 offensive rebounds, and it eventually leads to a back-breaking 3.
Right.
Things you just can't afford. And you already brought up Wiggins. He tremendous tonight, but again, this is somebody who throughout the course of the season, he's had big moments for OKC. Like, this is nothing new for Thunder fans or anybody in that building. It's one of those things. It's been a slow grind for him, but they develop over there, and those folks are ready. They do a really good job of it. Go ahead.
People don't like to develop these days because it's hard work. It's a lot of this. You got to stack a lot of days, and there's no instant reward. There's no instant gratification. It's a journey. But at the end of that journey is when the gratification comes in, like what you saw with Aaron Wiggins tonight, man. He was just still in the draft. I loved him at Maryland. A selfish player, but he could boogie. And a lot of, especially his last year, a lot of times, his last year at Maryland, he carried that team. He really did, man. So you knew he was capable. And got drafted, I believe, in 2021. Here we are 4 seasons later, and he's fully coming to his own. And it's not just now, man. Like you said, he's been doing it all season. I mean, when he came to DC, he had a field day. Obviously, being back where he went to college and stuff, and he's from North Carolina, so outside of Charlotte, this is the closest NBA team in the DMV, the Wizards. So, he definitely want to put on the show, man. So, and that's what he did, man. He can defend, he can break you down, athletic, all 3-level scorer. It was a problem. And I want to throw this out there so people can really understand the damage that OKC did in that second quarter. OKC's offensive rating was a 123.3. Their defensive rating as a team, 77.2.
Oh yeah, they were on 77.2.
0.2.
So they were literally at the end of the spectrums on both sides, right there.
I mean, no, Pacers ain't get no breathing room. Like they didn't get any. They had no life, man. You know, it was just they suffocated them, man. You know what I mean? And then that's where the game got away from them. So, like Shea said in the post game, when you defend and you stay consistent or whatnot, they can't get out and run. When they get out and run, that's how they beat you. So you make them a half-court team, you could do your thing. So, they figure you could just tell they figure that's the blueprint. Play sound defense, get the miss, come back on the other end, execute, get good shots, score, and they can't run. And if they can't run, you can mess up a lot of what they do, man.
Yeah, to your point, you talk about not being able to run. Just 9 fast break points in this one. For the Pacers, and they live in transition. So 9. Right. It was crazy watching them, watching the Thunder on defense. It felt like there was an extra person out there at times. You saw it was almost like they were beating the rotation. They were beating the basketball to places at times. And then on the other side, you saw the Pacers literally almost a step behind every one of OKC's passes on several possessions. But hey, man, this is why many people were excited, there was a good amount of people excited for the series because the quality of basketball we're going to get through 2 games. It's been as advertised through 2 games. It's 1-1. It's a series that's back to Indiana.
And it's funny you said 9 fast break points. 7 of those came in the first half. So they only scored 2 total. So once they suffocated them in the second quarter, they took their main thing away, even though they scored points. But it wasn't enough to overcome that second quarter, man.
It's literally this box score is the living embodiment of turning someone's water off as a team. Like literally, this is what that looks like. And again, we've watched the Pacers all through their run to get through the finals. One of their most dangerous, they're getting stops and they are flying up and down the court.
Yeah.
OKC had them in rush hour traffic routinely in this game. That's all we kept seeing. And, OKC's comfortable playing at that pace. SGA plays at his pace. OKC's comfortable with that pace. And that's where they like to keep it, obviously. They'll run when they need to run. But outside of that, they dictated the terms. And that's how you even a series.
And Indiana, they got to figure out. They got to do something with Shea. They got. No, you can't let this man just average like 35 a game, bro. That's gonna happen, y'all. Y'all gonna be about it at 4 or 5. I'm just gonna keep it 100, man. It's too easy. Tonight was way too easy, man. And it's like, come on now, like he was playing with Benedict Mathurin, Nembhard,
you can
Naismith,
roll through them all.
And this is why people need to understand basketball, size, height, and all that will always matter. Because honestly, if Shea was 6 feet, he'd probably be doing the same thing Jalen Brunson's doing. He's not as stocky as Jalen Brunson, but their shiftiness and their footwork and how they keep you off balance and their craftiness and how they got a counter for a counter, whatever, to draw fouls and get their shot. It's very similar. Even though, Shea's is more slim and Jalen's stocky. But when you add in that 6'6" frame that Shea has and athleticism, it's just now when Naismith and all those guys can test like they did on Brunson, it ain't throwing nothing off. He just whatever. I'm practicing against Chet and Hartenstein every day. It ain't nothing new. And I got Lou Dort and Caruso. I've seen that in practice, dog. Ain't nothing y'all can throw at me, bro. So he just having a field day out there. It's just a clinic. And then if he ain't hitting the shot, you fouling him. He going to the line. It's just You know, he's putting on a clinic, man, and the thing that makes him so difficult to guard, man, he's the epitome of having instincts. I always feel like the best scorers are instinctual players, meaning they may have some idea what they want to do, but they really don't have a plan. They're just gonna react to what you're doing.
It's up to the
And
defender.
whatever type of defense you throw at them, okay, cool. I'm gonna go to plan B, C, D, E, and we're gonna play this out. We're gonna see how this goes, man. And I guarantee you, more times than not, I'm gonna win. And so when you're dealing with majority of players, honestly don't want to defend like that anyway. So you get them a couple times, you're gonna take their hearts, even though they won't let you know you did, but you did. And then when you got the stubborn defenders like the Nembhards and stuff like that, cool. I'm just gonna be efficient and all that, and make the coach have to make changes. You know what I'm saying? And then fine, none of them could guard him tonight. He put Mathurin in, who's a dog, who's not gonna go away. I'm gonna put fouls on you, so you have to back off. And then next thing you know, you just see the team just looking at the coach like it's just like that. Man, what the you want me to do, man? So, yeah, bro, he's having his way, man. And when he's got it going like this, it makes it easier for the rest of his teammates to do what they do, and maximize their roles and take full advantage. And that's why you got it a 1-1 series going back to Indiana.
Yeah, we saw multiple defenders several times as 1-on-1. He's eating if it's 1-on-1, so that's a wrap. Going to the line where he's hitting the shot. He plays with along with everything you name. His balance is just stupid. It's just crazy. And again, if you have smaller defenders, no matter different body size or what have you, you throw on the balance, the height, the length. He's comfortable. Like he's been unbothered through 2 games. And then we saw later on they started throwing double in. That ball got to hopping around, and it's open shots. They got to find somebody to be at the point of attack to slow him down.
Yeah,
they have to.
I mean, he put Mathurin on the block, hit a turnaround jumper, and then looked at his bench, said he's too small. Also, I just saw him come across from the NBA. He set a record of 72 points through the first 2 games of his first NBA Finals. That's the most points ever by a player in his first 2 career NBA Finals games. The previous high was 71 by Allen Iverson back in that crazy on-1 season that he had, man. So, look, I mean, dog.
You just talked about slowing him down. He just put his name in history through 2 games.
With the answer, man. So, look, man, it's a clinic, man. He's a mask that keep you off balance as a defender, man. You got to be so damn defensively sound, and you got to do it for 40 minutes, and that's hard. That's so hard, man. Like, that's hard, bro. Like, the best defender is going to gamble and be out of position sometimes, dog. The absolute best, man.
No reaching, no guessing,
you gotta be perfect. You gotta be perfect, man. And then with the way he can draw fouls, see, that's the difference. Like, if he couldn't draw fouls like that, you might have a chance and stuff because you can bump him and do little things. Nah, he gonna make you pay. You make a mistake, got an arm in there, you jump, you lean in, let me get that bump. See, like, it's tough. It's tough now, but I mean, if you the Pacers, you like, cool. He did that, but that was in OKC. Let's see him do that in Indiana without a crowd and stuff like that. But my main thing with the Pacers, you got to be more aggressive, man. I know y'all doing the balance thing, like Tyrese and Shaq can share 20+ shots.
You're right. Like, that's bare minimum for the rest of the way. They have to, because if they're not aggressive, the other folks aren't gonna be able to eat with OKC's defense. It's just not gonna happen.
Yeah, because the Pacers are deep, but they're not as nearly as deep as OKC. That's the problem. Like, look, they can go. Ben Shepherd plays a little bit. You pretty much can go 8. I'm talking about people who kind of get around 20 minutes and all that. That means they really gonna be in the game. Shepherd and Thomas, but for real, they only go about 8. OKC, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. Dog, they got 8 players playing 20 minutes or more.
Yeah.
They got 8 players, whereas the Pacers only had 6 tonight. Dog, and then you got Kenrick and Isaiah Joe that can come in their minutes and make an impact, man. So, nah, man, your stars gotta be stars, man. And Siakam and Halliburton, they gotta get them up. They gotta get them up. But players play better at home, sleeping in their bed, eating their own food and stuff and all that, being more comfortable. We're gonna see how it goes. They did what they came to do, man. They got one. You know what I'm saying? So, we're gonna see how they rebound.
Right, that is the bigger thing, the big picture. It's not expected that the visiting team takes 2 on the road. You digit, hey, you check the box after game 1. Obviously, you'd love to get greedy, leave with 2. But I mentioned earlier, OKC's yet to lose back-to-back games in the playoffs. This run, I think they were talking about they haven't lost 3 in a row this season. They typically bounce back. They bounce back very well all season long. I was going to mention player of the game, but typically, like we always know, that person makes it very easy. So we're going to try something new. We all know who it is. No one needs to speak on it. Just going to go ahead and move over to X Factor.
Man, this is tough. Man, this is tough, man. I got Alex Wiggins, man. I got to just go Alex Wiggins, man. And 2 brothers off the bench got it done. You on mute.
Yeah, I can't knock that at all. Both of those guys were huge tonight. And, again, Wiggins comes off the bench. Caruso, too. Those dudes hit 9 of the 14 threes for OKC in this one.
And then
9 of the 14 threes. And that part, go ahead.
So Aaron Wiggins was a plus 24, the highest in the game. That's why I'm like, Halliburton, you got to take 20-plus shots because about 5 to 6 of them will be bad shots because they're going to be all over you, bro. You just got to get them dudes up off you, take some wide. Sometimes your best defense is a strong offense, but sometimes you just got to take some shots to make them think, to get a strong defender all balance. Like, all right, this month, he liable. Because as a defender, if you think a guy will pull up from anywhere, that keeps you on your toes and stuff, and then they could just kind of play a little chess game with you, man, and that's what it is. But when they kind of got you figured out, man, we know he ain't gonna really try and get aggressive to about the full quarter if they in it and stuff like that. It makes you easier to guard, man. It makes you predictable. You can't be predictable against great defenders and against a great defensive team that's, let's be honest, one of the best defensive teams of all time.
He can't go to the rest of the series and have a game in which he doesn't attempt a free throw. That's unacceptable for Halliburton the rest of the way. You can't. If you want to lead your team to win this series, you can't. You can't. Siakam got to the line 9 times. All right, great. No, he didn't shoot well. That's fine, but he got to the line 9 times. Conversely, on the other side, Shea went to the line 12 freaking times. And we know that's what he does, but Tyrese, you can't wait around the rest of the way.
And also had 5 turnovers to compound that with six assists. So you really ain't had no assists because you gave it right back. You know what I mean? And you gotta be aggressive, man. Why you gonna go out with bullets in the chamber in the clip, man? You know what I'm saying? You might as well just empty the clip. What's the point?
You have to. And the other part is, I wonder how many of them turnovers came because you weren't trying to be aggressive. And as you said, you become predictable. Because a team like OKC, bro, you're not going to complete passes. That's not happening. It's not going to happen. If you stop looking at the basket, your teammates aren't going to get a great opportunity to do anything. OKC's already in their pocket. It's just not happening. I think game 3 is Wednesday night.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll check in with y'all then. Carter, do you have anything else to add?
Yes, sir.
All right, we appreciate y'all. We'll check in with y'all Wednesday night after game 3, which is the first of 2 in Indiana.